Members of Congress are reacting to this latest indictment of former President Trump, and CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry joins us now to talk about this. Skylar, how are Republicans first responding to this latest indictment?
Hey, John, good to be with you. Well, as you can imagine, Trump allies certainly coming out in full force in support of the former president. We've seen several tweets, including from congressional leadership, pointing out what they feel as if is a double standard in terms of the investigations into the former president. Some have even called for the defunding of the special counsel's office, Jack Smith in this case, altogether, while also saying that this is merely a distraction from the other federal investigation into President Biden's son, Hunter. Now, something that we've heard over the past few weeks and months, especially, a phrase, impeachment inquiry. We know that House Republicans certainly are looking to see if there is any tie to the former president's son and his business dealings with President Biden. We know that one of Hunter Biden's former business associates, Devin Archer, was here on Capitol Hill testifying behind closed doors for hours in front of the House Oversight Committee, talking about what could possibly link the former president, or excuse me, the president to his son. But we know that Republicans certainly have been critical of that, even going so far as saying that it is an abuse of power by the Justice Department.
And now, Skylar, what are we hearing from the Democrats?
Yeah, you bet. So I think all along, Democrats have certainly been critical of the former president, not only with this indictment, but the others that are against the former president. We've heard from Democratic leadership who has talked about what this indictment means, saying that it's pointing to the most serious and consequential in terms of this indictment, also going so far as to say that no one, including the President of the United States, is above the law. But, John, I also want to point out a couple of other perspectives here. We've heard from some of the officers, especially those who were here that day on January 6th, notably Officer Harry Dunn, who put out on Twitter, ultimately saying that this indictment only serves as a mile marker along the highway to justice and accountability. Also, credit to our congressional correspondent, Nicole Killian, who received a text from the wife of fallen Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, who ultimately said that she can now hope that justice will be served. He needs to be held accountable for everything he's done. We've also heard from candidates along the campaign trail vying to be the Republican nominee for the President of the United States. Former Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, the former ambassador, have all come out to say that these indictments are distractions. But recently, just in the last 30 minutes or so, we heard from former Vice President Mike Pence, who we all know was inside the Capitol that day on January 6th, who said that today's indictment serves as an important reminder. Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. Now, we should point out that as part of that indictment that we saw today, that it said that the former vice president didn't want to go along with that January 6th plan carried out by the former president and other co-conspirators. And so I think that is absolutely some of the most compelling remarks that we've heard throughout the day today. The former vice president going out so far as to say something like this in the hours following this indictment. John.
Skylar Henry, thank you so much for being with us.
You bet.